So, welcome to the second instance of the Services Roadshow by Base4NFDI, where currently funded basic services pitch themselves, followed by a non-public Q&A session moderated by our team. PID, welcome, and the stage is yours.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah El-Ghibali. I'm a metadata specialist at DataCite. I'm also part of the PID4NFDI team, and I'm presenting here today on behalf of the whole team. And I would like to introduce to you the PID Coordination Hub and what we can do for you now and in the future as well. So, and I want to just start by saying that some services we already have live. We've been working very hard on the others that are in development. Everything is shaped by your feedback and your needs. And today it's more about giving you an update of what we're working on, what we have planned, and really about an open invitation to help us shape what comes next. We've been operating for about a year and a bit, so we passed the initialization phase. We're into the integration phase at the moment, and at the heart of our work is the PID Coordination Hub, which is a service designed to coordinate and strengthen the use of persistent identifiers across all layers of the NFDI. So this is more to help make PID adoption not just as widely spread, but also consistent. We are looking at consistency, meaningfulness, sustainable practices throughout the research lifecycle. And we're not looking at reinventing the wheel. We're actually working with a number of organizations, as you can see here, and by working with existing infrastructures and working on integrating all of these into the research workflow to have a more cohesive and aligned way of working with PIDs. So our mission here is to really improve the metadata quality and interoperability, provide tailored advice, support, training, outreach, and also help align with the national and international PID strategies. So what I'm trying to say is whether you're just starting up or if you're scaling up or wherever you might be in your PID journey, let the hub or the PID Coordination Hub be your central point of contact or point of guidance. Yeah, and come to us. And I want to make some things a bit more tangible here, and I'll introduce you to some of hopefully familiar faces. Not these ones, but you'll learn to recognize them. These user personas are very much really based on real roles that we have encountered in the communities, and not the names, of course, not the names, but real people that and what they've shared with us. So let's start with Robin, and Robin is let's say a repository manager at the University of Kiel. So Robin deals with managing digital assets, maintaining metadata standards, really make sure that everything in the repository is running smoothly and making sure things don't fall apart, basically. And they believe in FAIR principles, but they also have a lot of challenges. So things like legacy systems, shifting standards, user needs that evolve every 5 minutes, and of course users who want everything to work like yesterday. So yeah, Robin has a lot on their hands, and we've heard things like why would we follow standards when we can just reinvent the wheel every time? And quite honestly, anyone who's worked in standards and metadata standards, we have faced that question at some point. So yeah, so what does Robin actually need? What would they want to know? Things like what PIDs should I support? What should I prioritize? And what should we use for in our repository? This is where we come in and we can help you identify, prioritize the PIDs that are relevant to your concept, and sorry, contexts, and we can look at like DOIs or ORCIDs or RORs, IGSNs, epic handles, and such, and walk you through it, how to integrate them effectively. Robin is also quite conscious about metadata and how to improve the quality of metadata and completeness. So sorry, so we are providing or developing checklists, dashboards, metadata consultation framework, to help you evaluate and improve the metadata in a very concrete, hands-on manner. And that's really the thing. Robin doesn't need theory. They need reliable tools. They need good documentation, someone to turn to when things get complicated, and that's where we come in as the hub. So whether you're a Robin or you know of a Robin, you're not alone. We're building this support system with Robins in mind. So, and we do have other people as well. So let's have a look at Andrea, data steward and RDM trainer. Andrea's pulled into so many different directions. There might be still, getting comfortable with PIDs themselves, or, but at the same time, they also have the researchers that they need to advise, and they have the repository leads, they have decision makers, and they have all of these different people that they need to help them navigate the PID ecosystem. And what we normally hear from data stewards is that, yeah, sure, the data is technically fair, but don't try to find it. It's fair, it's there, we promise, but don't try to find it. So, and honestly, it hits way too close to home. So what does Andrea need? Andrea needs some clarity and needs some support. Again, things like beginner-friendly PID material. That's where we're building a collection of clear and reusable resources, slides, speaker notes, fact sheets, even short videos, and a lot of other things to tailor to teaching and reuse. And what if the trainees go ask Andrea some really hard questions, or they ask for specific implementation questions? So again, Andrea is not alone. You're not alone. We are second line support. You can send us questions. You can write. You can request recent answers, or you can even invite one of us to co-present, and we are happy to deliver some of the technical parts of the session or so on. So these are the kind of things that you can come and approach us with. And the goal here is really to make Andrea and people like Andrea to feel supported. We believe trainers and data stewards they have a key role in making the PID really work in practice. So it's very important that they feel supported, and we're here for that. Some of you might be researchers already, so you have Alex. Alex is very passionate about the work, very split between everything, publishing, applying for funding, attending conferences here and there, and sometimes teaching. And it depends. Alex might be a bit tech savvy, it might be not, but the one thing that they definitely are is short on time. So if it doesn't help them get published or get funding, they don't have time. And fair enough, we know about that. So when we talk to researchers like Alex, we tend to like cut it straight to the point. What they ask us of is like, how do PIDs actually support our fair and open science goals? In some other ways, like, how do PIDs help me? Let's be honest. And this is a key message, something that we're really working on to clarify in our outreach material. PIDs make research objects fair, and more than that, they help the researchers and the institutions demonstrate leadership in data stewardship, and more importantly, also align with funder mandates and national open science strategies. So the hub can come in here and support you in embedding PIDs in your workflow. So those benefits are something felt. They're not just theoretical, they're something felt, and it's not just something listed in a policy. It's not something you check off your list. So, and we do try to highlight as well, like that from the researcher's perspective, PIDs help reduce duplication, streamline workflows, increase their visibility, and while it might not seem as urgent as, you know, publishing that last paper or going to that conference, it does save them time and resources in the long run. Yeah, forgot to show our answer. So what other questions do we get from Alex? Can we get PIDs for free? And how many of you have already thought that while I started talking? So we hear this a lot. The short answer is no. And quite frankly, if we had a PID for every time we've been asked this question, I would be able to quite nicely build a fully linked knowledge graph and work with KGI. So PID infrastructures really do require funding. They're not siloed. Services like DataSite and Epic, they operate in cost recovery. What we can actually do for you in that case is lower the barriers. We can offer you free test environments, pilot prefixes, help you plan a sustainable integration plan, and support your contract negotiations with cost sharing models. So no, while we don't offer PIDs, PIDs are not for free. The return on investment is real, and we're really here to help you make that case and support you along the journey. Last here we have Monica, Deputy Director at a major university library. Monica is responsible for digital infrastructure, long-term strategy, making sure that the institution is really prepared for the future. And what Monica doesn't need API documentation. But what they do need is to know how that fits in the bigger picture. So how that innovation is integrated in the offerings of the institute, and how to sustain it. So while innovation is easy here, sustainability is not. So Monica can ask us questions like, how do I make the case for PIDs? We are happy to provide ready-to-use slide decks, policy briefs, talking points, and a lot of material to clearly communicate how PIDs support the main things: open science leadership, reporting efficiency and compliance, accurate tracking of institutional research impact, and this include reuse and collaboration networks, gaining global visibility and benchmarking, and really having better metadata and long-term savings. So these materials are great for internal pitches, for strategy meetings, for external evaluations, and they help you position PIDs as something not as an extra work, not as a burden, but something strategic that strengthens everything you do, from funding reports to global visibility. So another concern here for Monica is sustainability, and it's a big one. What happens after the project ends? And that's where we already offer concrete support. The coordination hub can work with you to develop long-term sustainability plans that includes cost estimates, governance models, contract support with PID providers. We also help explore shared infrastructure models, support internal planning, to ensure that all of these services are not just piloted, it's embedded, it's sustained institutionally, and so on. So it's all about working not just with the innovation, but with the strategy. So not just starting something, but actually staying the course. And that's what we're here to help you with. And let's step back a bit and look at the bigger picture here of our vision. The vision of PID4NFDI is establishing the PID coordination hub, and that supports real, practical, measurable improvements in how we use PIDs across the research landscape. So we offer support to repository managers to embed PIDs in their workflows, research data managers, stewards with ready-to-use material. We have researchers, decision makers, funders, all of these groups to demonstrate the concrete value of PIDs for visibility and reporting and long-term impact. And here for the whole of NFDI by providing best practices tailored to real use cases. So anyway, so through the use cases, focus groups, all our outreach efforts, all of this ecosystem that we're building is not just to support PID adoption, but it does so in a way that is really aligned and community informed and something that it stays agile and up to date to withstand the future and what comes next. So this is the vision that we're working towards, and we're doing it with you. And as I mentioned in the start, we are here with an open invitation to join us on this journey. And if you're curious about what more we can offer, take a look at our FAQs, and it's a living document. We're just actively building it based on the real questions that we're getting in. So all of the Robins, or all the Alexes and Monikas and Andreas, all of these real questions from the community, and we're trying to answer them and it's designed really to grow with that input, which to show you what's available now, what is being planned, how to engage with us, how to affect the plans in the future. So yeah, we're also working on a service roadmap, so we shall hopefully provide also another clear view of our development plans, timelines, and priorities. So do keep an eye out on our website. Join us for our upcoming events. Share your use cases, your challenges. Share with us how we can help shape the future of PID services across the NFDI. So yeah, with that, I'm happy to take any questions, and thank you, and thanks for the whole team. Yeah.